Hello, listeners. My name is Charles Scott, and here we are again on this fine afternoon. Can We Talk? Program that you should be listening to and have your friends listen to. It's very informative. We talk about real estate, what's happening in the economy. A lot of things are going on, as we say every week, so there's no loss of subjects for us to talk about. And I'm here with
Charles Scott Jr. How you guys doing? As my father said, subscribe. We're here every Monday, every week. On demand, look on Facebook, YouTube, you look up on your own time. But we're here to not just cover real estate, but anything that may affect your life, whether it's business or how to make money to qualify for a house.
And you like that word about how to make money.
Yes.
And also how to save money, because when you're saving money, you're making money. If you can figure that one out.
Yeah, time is money.
Time is money. So since time is money, I say we get started. Some of the things that have occurred within the last week, every time we talk about the interest rates, that's on everybody's mind, and also the, inflation, that's on everyone's mind. Inflation's hanging in there. People are still spending money. As we're talking about that subject of money, people are still out there spending it.
People are spending it, but what is good about that, like I said, even though interest rate is going up, people are still shopping for houses. I would say the demand still isn't curved down yet, but the inventory, that's the only issue we have right now. There's no inventory to supplement the demand.
We're having trouble with inventory. That means people that are looking to sell their homes. And one of the things I was listening to on the Bloomberg report, I always listen to the Bloomberg report. If you ever want to get in tune with what's happening in the economy and international news and national news, that's a good source of it.
Yes.
They were talking about how the Federal Reserve wants to increase increase the amount of unemployment. So they're saying that because there's a lot of jobs and jobs, the labor market has a shortage, people that get money are getting paid more, and the same token they spend more, but that in the other sense is causing inflation, and they're trying to bring down the inflation, which will help the people in the long run. That's a whole mouthful there.
Because basically they can't just sit back and do nothing. Right now you see it every day. You see companies are laying people off, but I'm going to say you have to look at it a certain way. It's a good thing because over the last 2 years, I would say a lot of things have been inflated, not just with the currency, but with the sales. People had extra money that they wouldn't normally have due to stimulus payments, or maybe they were working from home, got bonuses because of the COVID, the pandemic. When they spent that extra money, these companies say, wow, we don't have enough people to handle this new business. So they hired a lot of people, a lot of new inventory, and now we're actually coming back to normal, and they're saying, wow, we don't really need all these employees.
That's exactly right. The other thing is that you got to look at it like this to sort of make it sort of simple. People are making more money. So let's say you're making 10% more money than you did in previous years. But if the items that you're buying cost you 20% to 30% more than you paid in the other years, you're really not getting ahead because you get 10% ahead and 20% back.
Exactly.
So, and to make it even worse, it's funny, you go into a lot of these stores, like let's say, I like to make things sort of simple. They go in and you buy the Cheerios or you buy the cereal. Before, let's say you would get, let's say 25 ounces or whatever is in the box.
Yes.
And it might cost you $5. Now instead of 25 ounces, you get 20 ounces and it still costs you $5.
It might cost you 6 or 7. And we're seeing that across the board when it comes to food items. I mean, next time you use a box of cereal or a can of soup, maybe wash out the can of soup, keep the box, keep it to the side. And next time you buy it, you may realize the packaging has changed and you didn't even know.
Exactly. What they're doing is they're charging you the same amount of money or more, but giving you less in the box or in the can.
Yes.
There's even some apps that they have where when you're shopping, you can compare the price of the item today versus the price in the past,
yes,
and also the volume, so that you may say, oh, this price went down. But if it went down by 10% and they reduced the volume by 20, there you go. You're right back to where you started.
Back to where you're actually worse off now at this point.
So you're worse off. So all of this is all what we're trying to say is get the best bang for the buck. When you're shopping, You know, a lot of times what we try to do on this program is we're not only talking about real estate, we're not
Yes.
only talking about the economy, we're trying to save you money and give you some tips and some of the things that you can use in your everyday life.
Correct.
Instead of, like, if you have a large family, instead of going to the local grocery store or the corner store, go to the big box store, you know, stock up. You know, buy 20 of, if you're going to use 5 of this item every week, go and buy 20, 25, a big carton of the big box. You got the BJ's, the Costco's, you got all, you know, join one of those shopping clubs.
Now, some people may say, well, those cost money on top of the money I got to spend. But I would say first, go to the customer service, even get a free trial. Usually, whether it becomes Costco or BJ's, they have like 2-week free trials. You can go inside and see if it's a price point that matches your budget.
Exactly. So these are things that you can do to put more money in your pocket. And,
Yes.
and with the coming times ahead, whether it's good times or bad times, these are things that you should be doing anyway.
Exactly.
We have to, you know, look at the economy. I also heard today, just this morning actually, that the cartel and all of the oil suppliers out there are going to be cutting down on production. Now, you might say, well, what's that mean to me? Well, when they cut down on production, then that means there's going to be less oil.
That's an inventory issue right there. Less inventory means increased prices.
Increased
Because
prices.
I don't see the demand for oil going down anytime soon.
Right.
A lot of companies are actually requiring people to come back to work. You know, the COVID, you know, rules have actually expired, and a lot of people are going back to work, which means, you know, a lot of changes.
Exactly. So what you're going to find out is that this is, as of today, they're going to cut back on the production. That's going to filter into less oil, which equals less gas, but you still have the same amount of demand, so expect gas prices to go up. In addition to when prices normally go up in the spring and in the summer when people start traveling on vacation.
Yes,
and
very true.
if you're not driving, you still have to go on a plane, so the fuel in the plane is going to cost more.
I didn't want to touch on that. People don't realize a lot of people don't drive. They use Uber, or maybe they just take the subway. When the gas prices go up, that affects not just, you know, the gas prices, but everything you buy in the store that need gas to transport it there. Whether it's, you know, the diesel and the tractor trailer, these transportation companies have to charge more money to the grocery stores, which means they're going to translate that to you, the consumer.
Well, when you're talking about how the, what do you call it, collateral effect, plastic. Last year there was a shortage of plastic, and it was so hard to get plastic.
Yes.
Cups, anything made out of plastic.
Because?
Why? Oil.
Yeah, people don't realize that one of the main ingredients in plastic, if not the main ingredient, is oil.
So we're just saying that you've got to be proactive, look into all of these different things,
Yes.
and read into it. So if the price of gas and oil is going to go up, let's say you have a restaurant and you serve nothing but fruit juices and fruit drinks or whatever it may be, and you use a lot of plastic. Well, expect the prices to go up.
Yep.
So hopefully these tips help you out. We have some more tips today, you know, getting away from the economy.
Well, last episode we talked about the outside of the house, you know, sprucing up the outside of the house by the driveway, mailboxes, grass. Now we're talking more about the interior of the house, whether it be the living room, kitchen, bathroom, and the bedrooms.
And the reason why you want to spruce up your house is twofold. Maybe you're planning on selling your house. You want to get the most money that you can, the biggest bang for the buck. How do you get the house to appraise for more money?
Yes.
How do you get to charge more money? Maybe you're not selling the house, so you still want to improve the value of your house. Some of it's just called maintenance, where you got a car, you got to change the oil every so often. You got to, in order to keep the warranty, you got to have it maintained. You got to check the air filter, do this, that, boom, boom, boom. Same thing with a house. you have a house, you want to maintain it. You know,
Correct.
if the gutters are leaking and the water is running up and down the side of the house, then that means it's going to find an opening and you're going to have rot all over your house.
Exactly.
You know, if you got a shingle that's loose up on the roof and you don't do anything about it, the water gets under the shingle inside the house, rots the roof out. So some things in the house have to do with just maintenance.
Exactly. I would say one thing is you want to maintain your house because you may find something and catch it early. Well, if you find that crack in the roof, you wouldn't have found that if you weren't doing the maintenance on the house. Or maybe if you go downstairs, you might find a termite bed. And you say, oh, if I didn't catch these termites now, maybe down the line they would have ate more wood than they've already done.
So today we want to continue from where we were the last time. We were saying, how do you improve the value of your house? We sort of centered the conversation last time on the outside of the house.
Yes.
And improving the outside, cutting the grass, less clutter, you know, painting any chip paint that you have on the outside of the house. So now we're going to walk in the house, open the door, and we're going to give you some tips on how do you improve the value of your house once you walk inside that door and you get inside.
Exactly.
We might want to start, well, the first thing you do when you walk in the house is you step on the floor. So in many cases, you know, a lot of the older homes still have the carpet.
Oh, yeah, we see that a lot.
But in some cases, unbelievably, years ago people built homes and they had hardwood floors, but they didn't like the hardwood floors. It was a sense of luxury to step on a nice cushion.
Carpet really took over during the 80s.
It took over big time. I remember all those ads on TV, buy one room, get the other room free.
Yeah, yes.
You know, all done within one day. They still have them.
Yes.
Carpet was everywhere. So you go in all the house, and then the thicker the padding, the better. You walk in.
Shag carpets and stuff
like that. The shag carpet. I forget about
goodness.
this. You're not old enough to know about shag carpet.
I've seen them before, though.
What do you know about shag carpet?
These houses are coming on the market, and they're very old.
I forgot about that. I haven't seen shag carpet, and I don't know when. And I remember years ago, that was the first thing I got. All of those little shaggy, like walking through a forest.
Now imagine that shag carpet 30 years later, and the owner's either passed away or selling it. That shag carpet kind of looks a little tattered now. So what people are liking now is the hardwood floors. But one good thing about older houses, if you pull up the carpet or the shag carpet, it may have perfectly untouched hardwood floors that only need to be stained or polished or sanded down to bring them back to life.
And so it's value that you can add without doing too much, but just picking up the carpet. A lot of times, because the carpet's been on there, it might have a stain or something, but you can sand it down. What I suggest, and what I did one time, is you go to a place like Lowe's or Home Depot and you rent the sander.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, it doesn't take a lot. You're not going to be going deep sanding. They even have the hand model that you can hold. You go across there and you sand the floor down, and then you varnish it. You better give it a nice shine. So in some cases, and today most people are against carpet because of asthma.
I get a lot of allergies and asthmas from my clients. That's why they don't like carpet, and just the way it looks. People like the sleek, wood-colored, you know, sometimes vinyl. What I see a lot in these new houses, because remember, when you have hardwood floors, I mean, they built houses a lot better back then with these thick hardwood floors. Nowadays, you'll probably get the vinyl flooring, which is still very attractive looking, but it's more modern, I'll say.
The other thing is this. Suppose you have children.
Oh, yes.
You always see the commercial on TV where they've got the Kool-Aid or whatever it is on the table, and it falls over, and they rush over with the paper towel to get it before it hits the floor, and then it hits the floor, and they go, ah!
Yes, yes.
So if you've got carpet on that floor,
it's going to be stained.
It's going to get stained, and now you got whatever was on the table on the floor, and the kids are running around. So that it's a lot of high maintenance when you have carpets.
Yes.
A lot of high maintenance. And then you got to shampoo it. So you get tired just thinking.
And plus, carpets retain odor, I would say.
Especially if you got pets.
Yeah, especially if you have pets.
Everybody's got pets.
If you have
Cats,
pets.
dogs, this, that.
Very true. I mean, when I go into a house and there's no pets there, I can actually smell the pets from the carpet because they've been there for so many years.
Exactly. So what we're saying is this. If you want to improve the value of your house, and you want to do it for lasting and also maintenance and to make it easy, try and change that carpet into hardwood floors, and then refinish those hardwood floors so that it looks a lot nicer. The other thing that a lot of people are doing is if they've got the old wooden windows, they put the vinyl or the thermopane
double pane windows.
double pane windows
Those are very good.
into the property. And shop around. Shop around for the best price.
Yes.
You know, you get the flyers in the mail where they do so many windows and you get a free window, and then they want to give you a 20-year contract. You know, it's almost like a mortgage, and then by the time you finish paying the interest and you're paying for the windows.
Definitely shop around when it comes to windows. I mean, I bought windows from private dealers and national chains. I mean, you just got to do a shop around because sometimes you can find comparable prices.
The tip that we're going to give you is shop around, measure the windows, try and get windows that will fit right within your present windows, that does not really need a lot of altering, and then get a contractor or a carpenter to install them.
Yes.
That way you're only paying, you know exactly what you're paying for the windows, which you're not going through a third party.
Oh, no.
So, and you can even pick the windows up yourself and then bring the windows to your house. Then you get a contractor to install the windows for you. So you're saving almost half, 50% savings versus letting them do all of the work. And then on top of that, you're not financing. You just pay for the windows, pay the contractor, and it's a done deal. The other way, they come in, they put the windows in, they're charging you twice as much, and then they're financing it on top of it. And they're charging you all of this interest. So, you know, and you don't have to do all the windows all at one time. No. Who said, if you have 15 windows, who said you had to? First of all, you were not planning on doing any. You didn't do any. So it's not like you have to leave the house because you didn't do your windows. Do one at a time. Do one every month. Do a couple. Depending upon if you're selling the house, maybe then you want to do more. But if you plan on living there and you just want to do it for the energy savings, do that. Speaking of the energy savings,
what's that?
The other thing you can do, you can contact your local utility company, whether it's UI or what's the other one, Eversource. They'll do a free energy audit of your house.
That's true.
They'll send someone out and they'll put air compression in your house, and they'll see where the air is leaking out in your windows, your doors. They'll even go a step further and install weather stripping.
Yes, and what's that, the caulk or in between
caulk
the cracks?
Between the cracks. They do the audit, and they'll go through the whole house to make your house more energy efficient.
Yes.
Now, this works two ways, winter and summer.
Yes, because they'll keep the cold air in during the summer and keep the hot air in during the winter.
And in most cases, they do that for free.
Yes.
Because why? It's saving, and I used to wonder why. And I said, why are they doing all of these things for free? You know, everybody's got a method to their madness. And the gentleman at the company explained it to me this way. He said, look, if we can get people to save money on their energy and save money on their utilities, then that means we have to build less plants.
Yes, that's true.
Our biggest cost is in building an nuclear power plant.
To handle all the stress, all the users.
To handle all of that. If we don't have to build that plant, then it's not only just building it, it's getting it approved. Nobody wants it in their neighborhood.
Nobody wants a plant in the neighborhood. Yeah, you're right.
He said our legal costs are staggering. It may take us 5 to 10 years just to get the approval to put the plant there because the neighbors show up, everybody protests, no one wants it. So rather than go through all that trouble, if we could get everybody to reduce their consumption by 10 or 15%, we no longer have to build the plant.
That's a smart idea, you know. That's why you see it's free. It's paid by them because in the long run, it benefits them basically in their company.
Right, and then they can go up on a little rate increase.
Oh yeah, we've seen them do that.
Without building the plant.
Yeah, how about that?
So now you know the secret. Why are they willing to do all of that for free? Because they're saving money by giving you something for free.
Correct.
And I always said to them, you know, nothing's free. There got to be a catch to this.
Right.
That's the catch.
That's the catch.
We let you know the catches.
In the end, it's a catch that works for you because, hey, you get to save energy on your utility bills and keep warm.
At the same time.
Definitely.
So walking in the house, that's one of the things that you can do. The other thing that you can do is look around inside your house and what color are your walls? What's the favorite color right now? Right
now we're seeing the grays and the whites. Mostly I'm seeing like an in-between color. Definitely.
The grays, like a
eggshell.
No, eggshell.
It's like a glossy.
And for the doors, and I try to get like a nice white gloss because it really throws off the color. And on the door jambs and everything, you try to get a white and a gloss.
Yes.
Because if the children get their fingers on it, they've got it in the jelly and they put it on there, you could just take the cloth and just wipe it off.
Yep,
No problem.
Looks brand new.
Versus using a flat where it gets right inside your paint and it's hard for you to clean it. So you want to go through your house and you want to get and try to get a good paint with a one what do you call it, one paint job will do it rather than rather than get an inexpensive paint. The paint may be cheap, but you got to put 2 or 3 coats.
Yeah, those paints have
and
more
streaks.
Those paints have more water in them, more water-based paints.
Right.
What you want to do is go to your local paint store, or like you said, like Home Depot or something. Ask for the paint of a higher quality that requires maybe 1 or 2 coats.
So that way there you're doing less work.
Yes.
And many times you can do it yourself. What I try to tell people is, people say, I don't know how to paint. You get paint all over the place. Make sure you don't do this. Make sure you don't paint and get more paint on the floor and more paint on the other items, and then you got to go back and do it all over. They've got this blue tape. I like the blue tape.
Oh yeah, the painter's tape.
Yep, the painter's tape, and it doesn't stick. It's very,
I'll say it's half sticky. That's what I call it.
Half sticky. It's not
easy to peel off, easy to put on.
Go around and tape up your windows, tape up your walls, tape up your doorknobs. Do whatever you have to do. And you don't have to be as careful because once you go around and you trim everything, you just peel the tape off and everything is nice and straight and everything. It makes it look like a professional painter went in there and did the job.
Now, in the previous episodes, we talked about painting the basement similar to that. But remember, the basement, you can just tape off what you need to and just get one of the machines. You can spray everything and do a quicker job. I mean, you can do that upstairs too. You got to be very careful. Because remember, that spray moisture is going to go and hit the furniture and stuff like that. So it's more safer to do that in the basement. Exactly.
I have 2 of those machines.
Yes.
And you can go into one of the hardware stores or wherever it may be, and you can get the canister and the spray paint, in some cases, as little as $99.99.
Yes.
$100. It depends. What the price difference is how much volume it will hold. If you want to put a pint in there, if you want to put a quart in there, and also in how many, what do you call it, levels you have. Because you can go straight, you can go sideways, and you can spread it out, you can make it narrow, and you just go in there and you tape everything, and then you just spray paint everything and get everything out of the house. The only difference is if you have furniture and all that, that might not be feasible because that's always conducive to like an empty room.
People usually put plastic over the furniture, or it's like I said, it's an empty room. But like we said, save that for the basement. Upstairs you can just use rollers and paintbrushes, depending on how much you have to paint and how careful you are.
But you can see, these are things that we're telling you that do not cost a lot of money.
Yes.
And in your home, and your room is going to look completely different. The other thing you can do is change the light fixtures.
Yes, that's very true.
You know how many homes we go into, they got their old dated light fixtures that have been there for 40, 50 years. Go and look at some light fixtures, and you don't have to go to a big expensive lighting company.
Nope.
You can go to Walmart. Walmart got a lighting department. Amazon,
Home Depot,
online.
Now, I would recommend you have a professional install it, but if you don't have the budget for it, remember, go downstairs in your house, turn the main circuit breaker off, make sure there's no power going to anything in your house, and look on YouTube on your phone, see how do you change that. 99% of fixtures are going to have 3 wires, your ground, you're going to have your positive and your negative. You just got to be very careful when hooking that up.
Exactly. So there's ways of doing all of these different things that can improve the inside of your house. The last segment, we showed you how to improve the outside. We've shown you today some simple things that you can do to improve the inside of that house that do not cost you a tremendous amount of money.
Not much at all.
Even if you have appliances in there. A lot of these homes that have been around for, 25, 30 years, you're dated, you got dated appliances. You have places out there now, I like to go to the scratch and dent places.
Yeah, yes, the used appliance stores.
Scratch and dent appliance stores. Even if you're an investor out there, or maybe you're a landlord and you just bought a multifamily, or you plan on buying a multifamily, listening to us with these tips, you want to improve the value of that inside. You want to put new appliances in there. It'll pay for itself.
And just because we say the word new doesn't mean it was exactly new from the store. You can find, like he said, scratch and dent, or use appliance stores and find a refurbished refrigerator that's just as good.
And the other ones are the scratch and dent. Who cares if there's a scratch in the back of the refrigerator and you're going to push it up against a wall?
Exactly. And some of these places could be, like I said, used appliance places or Facebook Marketplace. Just look for places that have used appliances, sometimes Craigslist. But, usually a reputable place lets you test the item before you get it.
The old white appliances, the white refrigerator, the white stove, people like stainless steel.
Stainless steel, that's where it's at.
Put that inside your kitchen. Upgrade your kitchen. Do the job yourself. What we're saying is that you're going to increase the value of your home. If you don't sell it, just imagine you got friends over, you got company over, you open the door, they say, "Oh, you had your kitchen remodeled. Yeah, mine cost me $20,000." And you're snickered. You go, "Oh, $20,000? I did all of this for $1,500."
Exactly. So remember that is very important, because down the line, let's say you don't sell a house, maybe you want to refinance it. The appraiser's going to go inside the house and notice those upgrades you did.
And it's going to be worth more money. So that way, if you're going to refinance the house, or you're going to get an equity line of credit for a business or college education or whatever it may be, you can convert what you've done into money, real dollars, and more dollars, so that you are actually paying yourself when you fix your house up. That's your biggest investment for equity, for savings, for retirement.
Yes.
And the work that you're doing is like putting more money into your pocket. And it's like when you work with your hands, you only make so much unless you get a raise. You could fix your house up and get $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 of additional value.
Correct.
Which your hands would never have created for you within that, 2-month period?
Exactly.
So you got to look at it that way. Would you have been able to save $30,000 or $40,000 in 2 months? But you can add that value on by doing these small repairs that we're telling you about.
All right, definitely. Now we're going to have more tips for you, and we're not neglecting our audience that rents. Remember, we'll get right back to you. I mean, you got a couple episodes here for people that own houses to see what do they do when they don't want to sell. How do they get ready to be prepared in case the market flips and they are ready to sell? So, and next week we'll have more tips for them, and then we'll be right back to you, renters. But
that's right.
Definitely, I will say until next week.
We will be talking to you. Get your friends. Go to us on Facebook.
Correct. Follow us.
Follow us on YouTube, and let your friends know to tune in next week.
Definitely.
Next week. God bless.
Amen. All right.